What is up, Panthers Nation? We are back today with another video and a new hat. Rocking the new Panthers hat, on point. This thing is fire. Let's go. So we're talking today about Cam Newton and his vlog interview on his YouTube channel. I said some pretty harsh things about Cam Newton before, and with the video coming out and the words that he said in that interview, I've kind of changed my tune a little bit about what I think about him. Now that I know the truth, finally the truth comes out from either Ron or Cam Newton, so I'm happy with this. And finally, we're going to be able to figure out what we're going to do from this point forward. But first, let's break down this interview. He says that he had issues with the foot, and, I'm going to start with this right here. Sometimes you could be your own worst enemy. Sometimes you can be detrimental to your success and get in your own way. And that's exactly what happened with Cam. That's how he explained it, and I agree. After looking at the facts and after looking at what he did, I agree. So, here's the thing that bothers me a lot is that Ron, knowing that there is something wrong for all 4 quarters, decides, oh, we're just going to play Cam anyway. Knowing that there may or may not be another issue besides the shoulder, that bothers me a lot. That's coaching. You got to step up and say, is something wrong? Not, can you play? That's not the phrase that needs to be said at that point. If there is something more going on and you can sense it as a coach or see it on the field, you need to start asking more questions. Not just, can you play? That's the obvious question for any coach. When you're dealing with an injury, that's the most basic, bare bones question. No, what I want to see from Coach Ron Rivera in the future, and I'm not blaming him for the past. I'm just saying, for the future, I want to hear him ask more questions when he sees injuries. Because Cam Newton's not the first one that he's played knowing that they're injured out there. You got Greg with his foot injury. You got Ryan Khalil. You got Luke Kuechly after his concussion hit. You got Thomas Davis. Yeah. This is not the first rodeo. You got to ask more questions, Ron. I'm not putting you under the microscope on this one, but I will say that this is advice for the future going forward. I don't want you to get fired. Let me be clear about that. I don't want any of these coaches to be fired. But the thing is, they're not giving me much to defend them with. They're throwing themselves in the fire. They're throwing themselves in the hot seat. And I don't like it. And I know Tepper's very, very patient man. And I respect that. But, I'll say this as well. I absolutely cannot stand calling for a coach's job. I cannot stand it. And I'm not going to in this video. I'm not going to. But I feel like, with the amount of heat on Ron Rivera right now and on Norv Turner, one of the two of them will be gone, if we don't make the playoffs in the next 2 years. That's just, that's my observation. I'm not thrilled with it because, the positives balance out with the negatives with Ron. Um, Same thing with Norv, in my opinion. But the negatives are really starting to win right now. So I really hope these guys can keep their jobs because I really love both of them, and you know, for what they've done before they've come to Carolina and what Ron has done since he's been in Carolina. You know, I just really respect both of them. But getting back to Cam Newton, he's the source of this whole video here. So we're going to get back to him. Now, Cam said that he had that foot injury throughout the entire game and it was messing with his mind. I could see that, man. I could see that. We could all notice it. You know, we just didn't know it was his foot. We didn't know it was an ankle injury or a foot injury, you know, at the time. We were just like, oh, okay, well, he's back out there, so his foot must be fine. But, you know, I noticed it about the same time many people did, that he could not plant on that foot. And, you know, like he said in the interview, fast forward to that 4th-and-1 play or the 4th-and-inches play. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, we have an NBA-sized quarterback. Why didn't he run it up the middle? Because he couldn't plant on that back foot. That was a very good reason why not to try it. And I agree with him. Now, I may not agree with the play that was called in spite of that, which was the Christian McCaffrey sweep play to the left. I would have tried something different. You know, it's a half a yard, right? We needed it to win the game. Game was on the line. 3 points was not going to cut it. You got to throw something else out there, but other than a sweep play that they've been looking at all game, you know. So that's on Norv Turner. That's not on Cam Newton to decide that one. You know, I feel like that should have been Norv's call, and I would think that he would make a call that would actually get us that first down, but you know, they felt confident about it, so the past is the past, and that is that. You know, we can't change that loss now. It happened. So, what we need to do now is focus on what happens going forward. And that is Cam's recovery. However long that takes, however long it takes to get him healthy, we'll take it. We'll gladly take it. That rest will get him back to 100% or fairly close to it. But as I said in previous videos, that mental thought process when he's on the field. And, you know, was that the issue back in 16 and 17 as well? You know, was he more focused on those injuries, or did that concussion do a little bit more damage than we thought? That's what I'm wondering. You know, and, you know, Cam, if you're watching this, you know, I hope you check into that and see what's up with that, you know, just to make sure that the head's clear, you know what I mean? You never know, because I'm not trying to dog you here, man, but I saw a lot of bad passes that shouldn't have been thrown, you know, into double coverage and triple coverage and stuff like that, you know, you missed wide open receivers that were short range, not even long range where you were overthrowing them. That was your shoulder. I understand that one. But the wide open receivers in short and medium range, you know, and you throw it into double coverage and triple coverage, and guys that are clearly covered that, you're just trying to force it. I don't know, man. And I'm specifically talking about the cases where you're not being pressured at all, and you've been sitting back there for a while. You know what I mean? Like, if, like, I'm a supporter. I'm a supporter, and I agree with everything you said in that video, dude. Like, I'm with you. But it's going to be harder to convince some of these other fans in this fan base. And, you know, I'm all for you, man. I got your back. Against the haters. Because anybody that doesn't watch that video, that does, and is still going against you, even though you had good reasons for everything, that's the difference between the fans and the haters, right there. That's where you draw the line. Because the haters are still going to hate you even after that video. How you dress doesn't even matter. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant, dog. It's how the fans react to that. That's what matters. You know, and, you know, all I'm going to say is I got your back. So, getting back to my fan base here in the Keep Pounding Nation here. Here's the thing. If Kyle Allen handles this business and gets us into the win column enough times that when Cam comes back, he can get us to the playoffs, I'd say we got a quarterback battle on our hands. And that's a good thing. That's a good problem to have. With Cam Newton's recovery process, we don't know how long that's going to be. That could change a lot of things this season. A lot of the outlooks, a lot of the percentages, a lot of the stats that we're going to encounter. So, I think going forward, there is a plan of attack. But it's going to be tough. This season is never going to be easy at all. It never is. Not even a single part of it going forward. And that's even with Kyle Allen coming in there and taking care of business. I will say that. I saw a lot of weaknesses. I saw a lot of things we need to work on. But that's for another video. The focus right now is on Cam's recovery. Let's get him healthy as we can get him in mind, body, and spirit. And let's get him back out there and playing some good ball for us and get us some wins. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell so you don't miss any new content, and keep pounding!